Chai Chat once again, where we are talking of bogus colleges, and we have decided that the whole system of highly trusted colleges has failed. And when such colleges fail the students, what can the students do? Who is accountable here?
There's two people accountable for this. One, the criminals, because this is organised crime, who are exploiting Chetan, i.e. the people from the college who have taken the fees and haven't provided them with the education. And the second thing is that colleges and the universities will say the Home Office are accountable.
Now, I have heard this rhetoric of immigration, and I'll come back to you, Rajit, about this immigration and stuff a lot, and genuine students. Now, what does this boil down to really? He is a genuine student, right? He has been here for 16 months. He's not getting his money back.
I think
he's not getting his money back. In turn, he is working somewhere else. He's not even allowed to work more than X number of hours. Where does this man earn his livelihood?
This is why.
This is a genuine student.
But
Yeah, please. Yeah, this is why I think that, I mean, we can apportion blame, which government did it. The fact of the matter is that this government also has continued broadly with the same policy on students. So I think blame apportionment won't help.
2 years ago, it started this whole process of getting rid of the bogus colleges. So that's what it should be doing.
The fact is that individual students like Chetan cannot fight the whole system. This is why I think that this government has to take responsibility for this scandal. Individual students cannot fight the whole system, the Home Office and so on, and in many cases they're actually not getting any replies at all.
Actually, he says, you can say that the university was worse in teaching than the college.
University was worse in teaching than the college. In fact, university dropped me a mail in which it clearly says this is the first time this particular course we are running in this campus.
So
that means it's just...
There was a course designed to pull for instance.
So this is
whether the
coming
quality
from the
of teaching is
university.
good or not, but the thing is the recourse at the moment, the question is what can we do for a student?
The university should give their part of the money back to the student.
He's
And
paid
it
the
should be the
money.
full money because we have already invested so much time. Because if we go to the next university or go back home, what's the point? Like we have spent the time and the money as well.
And it should be paid by
He has nothing to take back. Ideally, the university which gave the license to the educational institute which brought him over, they should ultimately, and I think government pressure needs to be put on the university, and that can quite easily be done. They have received at least 50% of their fees. Yes, and they should take the responsibility.
So I'm going to go one by one to ask first, long term and short term. Quick answer on what pressure needs to be put long term and what needs to be done short term.
Short term, transition period to identify students who are in trouble, who are genuine, some sort of relief provided for them, them not being sent back, them offered an alternative or a refund before they are sent back so they can get their product. Long term, find out who the white collar criminals are, punish them with longer sentences, use that as a deterrent, get the money back from them and distribute it out to the people who they cheated from in the first place.
I'd agree with all of that because I do think it's really important short term to look after students who are innocent in all of this. Longer term, we do absolutely need to push to get the money back from those criminals. And I think we have to have a system for the future that absolutely is watertight because we do want genuine students coming from India to this country and being part of our education system, and some of them will work in Britain from then on.
I think short term universities should be held accountable for which they've been sleeping on the bed for a long time now, and the government should bring in policies to get them the refund they should get, and otherwise give them some government funding or give them a status to stay here so that they can earn and go back, or give them a college to study for that time, for the time period they have paid the fees for.
Right, short term, I agree with the rest of the panel that the universities who issued the license to these educational institutes, they should take the responsibility and help the students to finish their course off.
I think I agree with Harjab wholeheartedly, because you first have to identify the scale of the problem, who is affected and how many. And I think it cannot be done by individual members of parliament or local councillors. You have to have a national task force, a national agency to take stock of the problem, the scale of it, who is affected, and then begin to give them the options. If they can be redirected to continue their studies, so be it. If they want to go back, compensate them, give their fees, and they will go back. That's a short-term thing.
What do you want?
I want my compensation and the full fees back, because it's my career and it's 16 months of my life I've invested over here and got nothing in return. And even if I get a chance to go back home, I might decide to go back home, because I don't think my future is going to be over here for long, from the long-term prospect.
He is your constituent. How can you help him in what he wants?
Yeah, well, we've talked about some of the things that government can do.
For example,
and
he is a representative of,
Yeah.
let's say, 400 students. What do you think can be done exactly, practically, in what he wants?
well, I can't promise you the world right now, but I think what we've tried to do in terms of the panel discussion is to say what we think we can put pressure on government in different ways to actually help deliver. So whether it's pushing for support for you in a transition period where we can try and get you onto another course, whether it's going after the universities and trying to make sure that they're accountable for some of this, going after the criminals. These are things that won't help you, those doing the criminals in the university, but at least if we can try and get you some additional training and education, then maybe you just won't think so badly of the experience that you've had here. But I think, you know, if you've come over to this country, given genuinely your money to get an education, absolutely, then you know you have a right to receive that education, and then I hope at the end of that you still think Britain's a great place to be.
Okay. These students need the support. They need immediate action, and the long-term solution has to be brought about where the bogus colleges actually do not need to exist. There has to be a genuine license, and people would be able to trust, because at this point in time the entire British education system, actually there is a big question mark in the minds of international students as we speak. Please join us on Chai Chat again next week. We would have another sizzling topic, and if you want to host Chai Chat or send me a feedback, please Twitter me at Loveena Tandon. Goodbye and thank you for being with us.